Well, it's Sunday. It's a beautiful day in mid-March, and about 40 degrees, sun's shining, and hopefully today's going to be the day that we're going to start the tractor. So I'm real optimistic. So I threw the charger on, and while it's charging, let's go down to the basement and put together that hand primer. Okay, in reassembly, the first step is replacing this O-ring with one I picked up at my industrial supply. I already inserted it down inside there, and then so that'll go in the discard pile. Then this first check valve goes in with this side facing down. Like that. Then the spring. Then the next check valve goes in, also facing down, like that. And I've got this O-ring here, which replaces this bad one here. This I actually found in the kit that came with the pump. And that O-ring is going to go here, like that. It'll seal to the top of that. And then the other O-ring that I had to replace was this one right here, which I got from the industrial supply, and that goes in this groove right here. So this size, they didn't have the exact size. This one was a little bit bigger, but I tried it at the store and it seemed to fit. So just going to put a thin film of lube on this O-ring so that it squeezes in. Try and keep it from getting pinched. Oops. There we go. And now the plunger assembly. Let's see if we got this right as far as part numbers go. This is part number 23457, genuine standardized part. Looks good. There we go. So you can see it comes with this piece on there, the retainer, because it's all assembled already. And so all we have to do is make sure that it's clean down in here. And we're going to put a little lube on there. Oops. Fumbly. Just to help those seals glide in, and also to keep that plunger lubricated for the first few times that it gets activated with no fuel in there. Okay, now get this seal in. Retaining clip or bail. Like that. That's what keeps that in there. It's really stiff because it's brand new. does sound like it's working now. Let's see. Fuel comes on the top, exits the bottom, so I should feel suction on this side when I pull this, and I do. And I should feel pressure on this side when I push this. Yeah, I do. Okay. Just wasn't sealing it well enough with my finger. Okay, I think I'm going to clean up this assembly. Alright, it's not spotless, but that's not what we were going for. We just wanted to get all the heavy buildup of dirt and crud that was in there out of there. And so now I'm going to remount the primer assembly onto the plate here. Okay, I've got the primer mounted on the bracket and the fuel line from the fuel filter reconnected. So now I've got to go mount this bracket onto the side of the tractor. Alright, so now that I have the filter and hand primer remounted on the machine, time to make my next move, which is to mount my gear onto here in preparation for getting this shaft and gear assembly into the tractor and all lined up. So what I'm going to want to do is, I think I'm just going to leave this loose for now. Will that work? Yeah, that should work. And clean, where is it? I gotta clean this up a little bit. So let me show you the tool that I bought. This is the Driveshaft tool, part number 13371. And essentially what this thing is, it's a weird little clamping tool. Very cheap for them to make, but I guess because it's so specialized, that's why it cost me almost $25 for this little sucker. Anyways, the way this works is you get this around the seal like so, and I guess you clamp down on it like this, and it'll glide in theoretically right into the pilot tube, the old pilot tube here. So the pilot tube's got a bevel to it that's going to help, but initially it doesn't want to go in, so that, let's see if you'll be able to see me do this on the camera unless I prop this up at an angle, but just to show you what I mean, I put this around here, clamp this puppy like this, and it's not going, but I think if I lubed it up it would. Plus this is the old pilot tube, it's not as nice and smooth and clean, although this one really wasn't that bad. Anyways, it doesn't have a big groove worn in it, which is, if you get a groove in your pilot tube, you're going to have a real problem with this seal wanting to flip over on you. And if that happens, you're going to have a real bad problem with crankcase dilution from diesel fuel getting in there. Alright, so now let's see if I can do this. Okay, so I've just carefully inserted the gear and the shaft as an assembly through the front here, and I've got my gear teeth are meshing. I'm going to insert this little spring-loaded rod deal into the end here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to temporarily put my cover and screws back on here so that it's putting a little pressure on there, so that as I'm jockeying this pump into position, theoretically it'll
will not move too much.